What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to the channel. Hope that you guys are enjoying your weekend. It is gorgeous outside. It's warm and sunny. Okay, spring I feel like is here. It's springing. Flowers are blooming. It's gorgeous outside. And so I was thinking, you know what? Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, okay, is the perfect personification of flowers blooming, berries, beeswax, all the things. She is, in my opinion, just the personification of influence. And she is going to be speaking at the Time 100 summit on just that global influence. And if you think about it, not only, did she travel the world essentially even before she met Harry, right? So she has a double degree in theater and international studies. She worked as an ambassador or in the office of the ambassador in Latin America. So she speaks fluent Spanish. But even when she was in the UK, and she inspired the women who were working in the kitchen to, feed the people. And I think it was not a soup kitchen, but it was like something similar like that in Britain. And they said that they couldn't keep it open. They couldn't afford to keep it open, 7 days a week. So she said, you know what? Why don't we do a cookbook? Boom, right? Cookbook sales through the roof. She collaborated with the women, and now they can afford to be open 7 days a week. And that book is still one of the top selling cookbooks online. And then she inspired her husband, Harry, his book, Through the Roof. I think it is the number one top best selling nonfiction memoir in history, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to Prince Harry. But everything I feel like that she wears sells out. Her brand, as ever, sold out within the hour. Like, her one pot pasta, which is delicious, by the way. I've made it a few times. It has inspired Martha Stewart to recreate it, and other, chefs, even in Italy, to recreate it. Miss Mama's is the personification of global influence, and I'm here for it. So let's go ahead and get into this Time article. It says Meghan will be a speaker at the Time 100 summit on April 23rd, 2025. The 2025 Time 100 Summit and Gala. Time will convene the 2025 Time 100 list of the world's most influential people in New York City at the Time 100 Summit on April 23rd, and the Time 100 Gala, or Gala, tomato, tomato, whichever you choose, on April 24th, which will air as a primetime television special on May 4th on ABC. The fifth annual Time 100 Summit will feature leaders from the global time community to spotlight solutions and encourage action toward a better world. Speakers for the day-long event include Meghan, Duchess of Sussex and founder of the brand As Ever, actor and producer Demi Moore, the co-CEO of Netflix, Ted Sarandos, actor and entrepreneur Ryan Reynolds, comedian Nikki Glazer, and co-founder and CEO of Google DeepMind, Demis Habbassis. I'm so here for it. The Time Studios and ABC will also air footage from inside the gala, titled Time 100, The World's Most Influential People, on Sunday, May 4th. This year's list includes the following women: Simone Biles, Scarlett Johansson, Serena Williams, Kristen Bell, Rashida Jones, Blake Lively, Nikki Glazer, Bobby Brown, and more. So the Time Chief Executive Officer Jessica Silvey said that the 2025 Time 100 list of the world's most influential people recognizes the leaders shaping the world today and defining its future. We look forward to bringing together the newest members of this extraordinary community at the annual Time 100 Summit and the Time 100 Gala with our incredible partners. Of the 2025 list for the Time 100, The Time editor-in-chief, Sam Jacob, writes in his letter to his readers, Time's founders knew that focusing on the individuals who are transforming the world is the best way to help readers understand it. This belief animates much of what we do at Time. What does the 2025 Time 100 tell us about the forces shaping our lives? It includes 16 corporate CEOs. It includes 9 leaders who are fighting for justice, equality, and democracy at a moment when the rights of so many are at stake. Members of the list come from 32 countries. Whatever change comes, we think that the 2025 Time 100 will lead it. And so they have a list of all these people from, like I said, Simone Biles to Jalen Hurts and um, Demi Moore, Adam Scott, Kristen Wiig, just a lot of like actors and entertainers, politicians. From the business world, we have in the technology world, we have Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Fink, um, Bobby Brown, not the singer, but the makeup artist, um, Bill Gates, Hillary Clinton, Alicia Keys, Marco Rubio, Ashton Kutcher, and many others. Time will convene on, okay, yeah, I already said that, the May 4th, ABC. I'm so excited for her because the fact that she's speaking alongside of, so many influential and bright and powerful people. Um, I love the fact that, they're also focusing and highlighting scholars and professors such as Kate Crawford, who comes from the University of Southern California, also actor and co-founder of the climate-based camp, Rainn Wilson from The Office, founder and center of Rural Enterprise and Environmental Justice, Catherine Coleman Flowers, and more. So it'll be hosted by Snoop Dogg and feature performances by singer and songwriter Ed Sheeran, Miles Smith, and also they will present a Time Impact Award to Olympic gymnast and advocate Simone Biles. They will also include Blake Lively. I'm sorry, I know they're going to feature her husband too, Ryan Reynolds, and I'm only laughing just because of all the um, scrutiny that they have been under of their own of her own doing. By the way, that's why I chuckled a little bit. But I'm really excited to hear what Megan has to say and her speech. She's always someone who inspires. She is always encouraging and uplifting, which is unfortunate only because of all the negativity and the hate that her excellence brings forth, right? I feel like she is seen as such a threat to so many people who are drowning in their own mediocrity. And when they look at her, because she is a duchess and she, chooses to go by, Megan Sussex, as her last name, because Prince Harry, his family, I mean, they have, listen, countless last names. You guys can look them up if you want to, but when people say, Duchess Meghan or Megan, they know who people are talking about. I mean, that's her handle on Instagram, right? I feel like she's probably the most famous Meghan in the world, just like Princess Diana. Like the last names are essentially are unneeded, but she is so influential, and she doesn't just sell out everywhere because she is a fashionista and she is, someone who loves not only fashion but also empowering young women. Like she's someone who uses her platform to inspire, to encourage, to uplift, to promote positivity, and she's met with such vitriol, and it's really just It's unwarranted, right? Like people really have come unhinged simply because of the color of her skin. I mean, they came after her son, comparing him to a chimpanzee over, in the British media, which I'm so glad that, Harry stood his ground and sued and won, by the way. But, people have to really get over this ideology that people of color, even if you have, like the one drop rule and whatever, like that it makes them less than. Because it's simply not true. And I promise you, this whole world essentially is shaped by social hierarchies, right? In India, they have the caste system. In South Africa, it was apartheid. Here in America, it was chattel slavery and Jim Crow, and the list goes on and on. But at the end of the day, we're all equal. We're all human beings. And the sooner, that people realize that, the better. People look at Meghan and they're like, oh my goodness, this, half black, woman has essentially what they were aspiring to, right? The soft life, married to a prince, influences everybody. And, she's warm, she's sweet, she's capable, she's educated. She was a self made millionaire even before she met her husband. And people are mad. And it's just like, okay, well, be mad about it. You know what I mean? like, like Beyonce in her performance at Coachella. You know what I'm saying? She came out and she was like, everybody mad, and it was iconic, but that's real. People cannot stand when they are socialized and conditioned to believe that someone should be beneath them simply because of the melanin in their skin, and they're not. And they not only are equal to them, but they surpass them in terms of life goals, because Meghan has earned every single thing. She works and she grinds. She was an actress. She was working as not only an actress, right, but also inspiring the cookbooks overseas, and working in Latin America, learning Spanish, doing what she needs to do. Like I said, even before she met Harry, she was a self-made multimillionaire. Beyonce, the same. Serena Williams, she just put out a new makeup line. Okay, Rihanna, etc. The list goes on and on. And people are so mad because they're so used to things being given to them. But it's like, no, when you put in the work, you can, reap those benefits and reap those rewards. And I'm so proud of Meghan. I'm so glad that she's speaking at the Time 100 summit on global influence, because that's exactly who she is. She has influenced countless people. When you have Martha Stewart remaking one of your dishes in a very simple one pot pasta dish, I'm like, that's absolutely amazing, because Martha Stewart, of course, her name is synonymous with home interior design and, that lifestyle brand. So, and the gag is she had the TIG, that was her blog, like I said, years before she even met Harry. That's just who she was. She was the, lifestyle influencer girly way back in the day. So now that she has left, her and Harry left the abuses of the British media and the cold, damp castles and the just negativity of England and the horrible treatment that she received from the royal family, and she came over here back home, she's able to do what she loves. She's able to blossom. She's able to be who she is. And I love that for her. And Harry, he's like, I'm never going back. Like, what makes the people of England think that he would want to go back there? The weather is not as good as in Cali. The food's not as good. The fact that his family, though, won't be safe there. They compared his son to a chimpanzee. Like the dehumanization that people think is okay just because you have a drop of melanin in your blood. And let me tell you, them kids look like they have exactly one drop, okay? They look so much like Diana. It's ridiculous. Her daughter has blue eyes, I think, and like, red hair like her dad. I think, well, I know Archie's a ginger. I think she is too, a little bit, Lilibeth. But even if they weren't, the fact that there was a big, scandal or, upset about how dark their skin would be, how disgusting is that? People are really brainwashed and thinking that if you have dark skin, that you're somehow inferior or less than. And that's social conditioning. The good news is that's learned behavior, which can be unlearned. And no one's willing to admit it. Or I shouldn't say no one, but few are willing to admit it. But you can do the work to unlearn that harmful behavior. Because at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We all bleed red. And I love the fact that Meghan is using her platform to do things that are positive, as opposed to other people who just try to tear others down. Like, how sad is that? We only have a very short time on this earth. And instead of using it to, disparage other people, you want to encourage people. You want to uplift others, you know? You want to leave a legacy that speaks to who you are as a human being. And she has used her talents and her gifts. Listen, her 2 degrees are in theater and international studies. She was an actress and an international influencer, global influencer. Absolutely. Her work, not only, like I said, in the ambassador's office when she was in Latin America, allowed her to learn Spanish. Because I feel like if you can speak Spanish and French, you can communicate with so many people across the globe, It's amazing. But she is an absolute icon. I'm here for it. And please do not leave negative comments. Um, I know when I make videos about Meghan, a lot of people are upset and triggered. You have to do your work and unpack that, preferably with a therapist, but not here. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk. And even if you do leave negative comments boost engagement anyway. So have a blessed day and go out, enjoy the sunshine. It's springtime. Go smell some flowers. It's lovely outside. Like Meghan would do, right? Go pick some berries, make some jam. Go make some candles, harvest, some honey, some bees. All right, anyway, enjoy your weekend, guys. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you later. Take care, Aces. Bye.